All right, so I tried to search the web to find my method for finding key signatures in some splashy, cool way that somebody else has done, but I couldn't find my method anywhere. So I'm gonna have to do a boring one for you. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. So the first step of figuring out a key signature is taking out your musical calculator, all right? And that for key signatures is bead GCF. Otherwise, some people remember it bead greatest common factor. There's also some really old ways of learning this, which I don't remember, but you can come up with any way of remembering these letters. Bead G, C, F, okay? And consequently, this is actually the order of flats goes this way. So all key signatures are written in the same order. They just keep adding flats. So the first flat that you would ever see in a key signature would be B flat or E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, C flat, and then the final one would be F flat. That's the order of flats going in order this way. The other way would be the order of sharps. So the first sharp you would ever see would be in F. F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, E sharp, and then the final one would be B sharp. All right. The key to unlocking key signatures is to identify, for those of you who do know the circle of fifths, the top of the circle of fifths is C. And this one has no sharps or flats. So you always know that one. That's going to be C. That makes C do because C is the home or tonic key. That is home. So that is going to give your do, and then you're going to generate your scale based on that. All right, but what if you see a flat, one flat? Well, you go in the direction of the F, flats, okay? And if you see a sharp, otherwise looks like a hashtag, g, 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 you're gonna go in the order of sharps in this key signature identification trick, okay? So if you have 0, it's C. If you have one flat, you go this way. If you have one sharp, you go this way. And then literally all it is counting, okay? So let's say you have a key signature with 3 sharps. Well, you know that G is 1 sharp. This is 2 sharps, 3 sharps. Your answer would be A. Let's say you have 5 sharps. You know G is the first sharp, so 2, 3, 4, 5. Your do is B. Okay, and it's as easy as that. All right, let's go to the flat side. Let's say that you have 1 flat. Obviously, it's F. But let's say you have 2 flats. You have 1. You're out of letters. What do you do next? You go around the circle back to the beginning, and this is your second flat. Well, because you went around the circle, you're going to add in the flat to your answer. So the answer would be B flat, okay? And consequently, we just did the key of B is a sharp key because we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the key of B is actually a sharp key because that's how you got to it from C. If you go around the circle, you just add the accidental. The same thing happens for sharp keys. Go here. Let's say you say 6 sharps. You got 0 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Uh-oh, we ran out of letters. We go here. It's going to be F, but you're going to add the sharp for this one, F sharp. And that's going to be your answer for your do. And that literally is all it is. So let's do a couple before I end this video. We'll do a couple of sharps and a couple of flats. If you got them right, you know you got it. All right. So again, all my order, we're going to go sharps, is going to always go in the order of sharps is going to start over here. My F sharp is first. I know you know that that is the key of G, and it crisscrosses right there. So I'm just going to do 3, F, C, and G. So how many, what key are we in if we have 3 sharps? We just counted 1, 2, 3. We start at C, which is 0. We go towards the sharps direction, which is always the hashtag good direction. 0, 1, 2, 3. If you said A, you're correct. What if I said 4? Yep. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The key is E, and that makes E our do. Okay? And I do like my colleagues' quick trick for sharps, which is that you can always consider the final sharp that you see to be T. And so you always know do is right above that. That always works for sharps. My issue is that it doesn't work for flats. This works for everything the same way. Okay, so if you can't remember that T goes to sharps and Fa goes to flats, then this method is better for you in terms of figuring out T. Okay, let's go to our flat keys and make sure that we understand flat keys, and then we're good to go. Again, flats, many of them are named with the flat sign because most of them do have to go around the circle. So just be careful to make sure you add in the accidental name when you have the going around the circle effect. All right, so let's start with flats. And I'm going to do okay. The first thing you do is you count how many flats there are. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you start at 0. You go in the direction of flats, which is towards the F, and you got 1. Oh, you got to go around the circle. 2, 3, 4. So the answer is A. However, A natural is just a sharp key because that's this way. You went around the circle, so the key is A flat. All right, let's do one more flat key. This will be a hard one. D, G. Okay, so this is 6. Start here. 0. Go towards the flats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is G flat. And yes, if we had 7, we'd be back to C flat. Because we went around the circle, we have to add that flat in there. That's where it starts to become clear that you couldn't call it C. You'd have to add something else to it because you know that C is no sharps or flats at all. Okay? All right, so if you got all those right, then you understand. I'm going to do one more difficult sharp one. If you get this one right, you know you've got this. All right, so we got, this works in the bass clef as well. Let's see. We're going to do, yes, these go in the same order each and every time. All right, how many sharps do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sharps. You go to your calculator, you got C is 0. You're going to go in the direction of sharps, which is hashtags. You're going to go towards the G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got to go around the circle. 6, 7. So what is it called? You went around the circle. It can't be the key of C. It is indeed the key of C sharp, which would be do. Okay, and again, us singers, we don't have to care about those accidentals when we are identifying notes, which is why that knowing that in a sharp key, T is the next one is helpful for us, and that it's Fa in the flat keys. But it's also really nice to know what the actual key is so that you can tell somebody when they want to play in your key. All right. Hope this was helpful for folks who are trying to identify music, especially when you're looking at sheet music or looking at a piece and not knowing what to do with it.